my time there, that opportunity, the impact it really had is helping me to understand that I'm capable of so much more than I thought I was.
You're listening to the Real Estate Sessions, and I'm your host, Bill Risser. With nearly 25 years in the real estate business, I love to interview industry leaders, up-and-comers, and really anyone with a story to tell. It's the stories that led my guests to a career in the real estate world that drives me into my 9th year and nearly 400 episodes of the podcast. And now, I hope you enjoy the next journey. Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 387 of the Real Estate Sessions podcast. As always, thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for telling a friend. Today, we're doing another shortcut episode where I visit a guest from the past. And this week, we're going back about 5 years, and we're going to be talking to Alicia Berruti. Now, most of you know Alicia from her BombBomb days, but just about 7 months ago or so, she actually joined Fidelity National Financial. We're going to catch up on what that change was and a couple of other things as well. Let's get this thing started. Alicia, welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you, Bill. I'm so happy to be here again.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm having a great time doing these because I get to go backwards and kind of try to remember what we talked about. And I think with you, it was really easy because you had some cool stuff in that episode. But the first thing we're going to ask you is, do you remember the date, or at least how long ago it was that I had you on the podcast?
If I had to guess, I would say 2018.
That's a pretty good guess. It was actually 5 years ago, April of 2019.
Okay,
Yeah.
April of 2019.
Yeah. Things were a lot different for you then, I'm just guessing. It's 5 years ago.
Yes, a lot has happened in 5 years.
And then there's this really weird thing that's happened, and that is that you and I are now both working for the same company. We're both with Fidelity National Financial. Why don't you quickly tell me your role there, what you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was hired by Fidelity to be director of engagement for a product that we have called Live in Here that is for real estate agents. It's really, really exciting because I think it's a product that solves one of the number one problems that we know agents have, which is how do you maintain a high value relationship for the 7, 8, or 9 years in between when they are using your services, right? And so, the answer and the solution has always been marketing and trying to maintain that relationship. And Live in Here just does it in a really, really exciting, scalable way, hyper personal. The quickest way that I like to describe it is if you've ever used MyChart, like healthcare portal that your doctor has given you so that you can schedule appointments, keep track of your health, access resources, request to see a specialist, see your test results. Live in Here is like MyChart, but for homeownership, where the agent gets to be the doctor, giving a portal to their homeowners to manage their home and get help with repairs and maintenance and keep track of their value and equity and see how their home is performing in the local market. But it's all hyper personal and relevant to that consumer and their home.
Yeah. In my new role, which is in sales enablement, which is helping our sales team when they're actually out talking to agents, Live in Here is a huge piece of the puzzle for me as well. So it's amazing how we're going to get to work together on this project. I know you've been doing this for 6 or 7 months at least already. I'm in my second month coming up and looking forward to working together to make this happen. It's going to be very exciting. So
what a fun full circle though, that 5 years later we're working together, still serving agents.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this question then. This is how I start every shortcut. In the last 5 years, what's the most exciting thing to happen to you personally or professionally?
I'm going to do one of each.
Okay, go for it.
I think professionally, it was 100% being hired by Fidelity and stepping into this new role. Like I loved my time at BombBomb. I was there for 8.5 years, but stepping into something new and exciting and having to level up and take on more responsibility, definitely the most exciting thing professionally. Personally, my daughter graduated from high school last year, my first So I've got two more coming up behind her real quickly, but getting one out of school was a big deal.
That's awesome. Yeah, mine was a few more years ago than that, but it was. I understand that feeling, and that's congratulations. That's great.
Thank you.
You had a great backstory, and so I want to just ask this question. Has the acting bug bit you since the last time we talked? Was there ever this thought you're like, oh, maybe I'll just go do some local theater. I'll do something. I just want to do it again. Has that ever happened?
Oh man, I wish that I had time. The bug is always with me, Bill.
All right.
It's always with me. It's just a matter of finding the finding the space to fit it
Yeah.
into the life of a single mom with three teenagers and a full-time job. However, what I would say is that my performing bug is getting engaged a little bit. I have just recently with some girlfriends, we've kind of started a little bit of a band and we're playing music together, and I'm learning new things. Like I've never drummed before and I'm learning how to drum. So I'm still getting my performing kicks that way.
Wow. So that's going to have to be another episode because we're going to have to talk about that in depth. I think that's great. Fine. This is a shortcut, so I'll keep moving. Number 3, how do you describe the impact Bomb Bomb had on your life? When someone's asking you
Mm,
and they, because you were very open and honest, very, very, really authentic about what was happening and then how this was such a change for you.
yeah. I love my Bomb Bomb story, Bill. I came into Bomb Bomb from a totally different career field. I had been a massage therapist for 13 years and was leaning into something new, not really knowing what was going to happen. But not only did it change my life, I think practically, right? Being given the opportunity to learn how to sell and make more money and get promoted and grow and all that, which opened the door for now this new opportunity. I think number one, my time there, that opportunity, the impact it really had is helping me to understand that I'm capable of so much more than I thought I was. Right? And I know that along my career journey, it's me that keeps showing up and keeps showing myself that, but having people around you that also believe in you and say, like, we're going to give you this opportunity. And the other thing that I would say the impact is the relationships. The relationships that I still have in the real estate community with agents and brokers and the other tech people in the prop tech space and all of that, like some of my dearest friends now have come out of being in this industry and getting to work with the agent community. And so I think the relationships have been just as significant of an impact that I get to keep those with me too.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're still in the same space. So that works out perfectly. Yeah.
Space.
What has your attention in the world of real estate right now? There's a lot going on. Is there anything you're watching or anything that, that really kind of makes you kind of wonder, wow, what's that going to do? Or how's that going to work?
Yeah. Obviously the commission lawsuits
Mm-hmm.
are have everyone's attention, but I think what I find most interesting about that is the opportunity that we have as an industry to show value and to rebuild that consumer trust. Because if you've ever had haters before, right? But if you've ever experienced having haters or someone gossiping about you or whatever it is, like, you cannot possibly go around and defend yourself against everyone. But what we do when we have haters is, people, you hear this all the time, like, you show up stronger, you show them who you are. And I think that as an industry with consumer trust being at an all-time low right now, what gets me excited about this time is that I know that agents have so much value to bring. I know that agents are are key to the industry and to providing service for consumers and protecting consumers through this process. And so what has my attention is not, oh no, the lawsuits. What has my attention is what an incredible opportunity to show value and show up and put trust back into the industry. That's what has my attention.
Yeah. I had the chance to watch 4 or 5 sessions you did that I was on the call with some of the operations in Texas. And you were really able to point out, bringing this back to Living Here just as we wrap this up, that there's a way for a buyer's agent to be using this tool. There's a way for them to make this work for them as well in this new environment, right?
I think it's always about adding value to the conversation. I mean, that's why I jumped on board at Living Here. That's why I'm so excited to be talking about it, because it really gives agents a super valuable tool for every single person that they're having a conversation with.
Right.
Even if that person is not planning on buying or selling in the next 2, 3, 4 years, the agent still has this incredibly valuable thing that they can say, oh, great. I'm so glad that you're happy in your home. Can I give you a tool to help you manage that home and maintain it for the next couple of years? And that gives you, all the insights into what's happening. It's just, it's that value, right? I have it on one of my boards here in my office, but it's a mantra that I use. Provide value and abundance will follow. And it's the same thing for agents, right? Yeah. Provide value and abundance will follow.
That is a wonderful way to wrap up this shortcut session. Alicia, thank you so much for your time today. As we record this, we're actually going to be in Houston together next week, which is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be launching an operation there. It's going to be a blast. So I can't wait to see you again in person. And thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, I'll see you in Houston. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for listening to the Real Estate Sessions. Please head over to ratethispodcast.com/RE sessions to leave a review or a rating, and subscribe to the Real Estate Sessions podcast at your favorite podcast listening app.